Hey guys, it's Spacey Sims, and we are back with more Paradigm Paradox. Going to finish up and get our grand finale ending. Now, if this part's short, I was thinking of editing it together with the last part, but we might just then get the bad ending as well. And I know that's not what we normally do, but like, it's one of those things where it's like, well, the bad ending shouldn't take like a half an hour to get because it's going to be a quick thing. So then what are we doing? You know what I mean? Because yes, we still have to do the justice ending and then the villainous justice ending. And there's multiple of those. But I don't want to just then have to go back and be like, okay, here's the grand finale bad end. And here's this bad end. We'll just do them in the groups that they were meant to be. Because it's not like when we go down a love interest, we get the best endings. And then we go and do all the bad endings for all the love interests together. They're siloed in this love interest and this. So, yes, the grand finale ending, happy ending should be on its own, but like we'll just put the bad ending in with this one, and then we'll do like all the justice stuff together and all the villainous justice stuff together and whatever. You know what I mean? They just make it easier, right? So, anyway, these aren't as important as the love interest endings, to be fair. Although this one wasn't bad after we got through like 2.5 hours. Again, it's more like 2 hours because, like, you know, I'll give myself the 30 to 40 minutes of me complaining off and on of like, why are we rehashing this? But like, I don't think we really needed to rehash and do all of that. They could have, I guess if they did a speed run through it and there was like blah, 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 you'd be like, what the hell? But they kind of just spent too much time like, and then we talked about this, and then we spent 3 hours deciding this, and then I asked a stupid question, and it's like, we already know the answer to this question, and then why are you, like, stop it. You know, they kind of tried to put too much filler in to make it a little bit longer, and they didn't really need to do that. They could have cut it down by half, and it would have been better, because the getting to the battle and dealing with that was more fun. Like, okay, because it's different. We're here, we're doing the battle. I don't want you to lengthen that, because that would have been too much, but that was the main point, is the ending, and then this kind of after segment. You didn't need the 3 hours of debating and talking about and bringing up and rehashing and spending all that time on the stuff we already know. You know what I mean? I think they could have condensed it a little bit more, you know? But anyway, a few days after the battle, I was headed to the research district, which I now knew like the back of my hand. I found Tokio, Ayamu, Mr. Kunomori, Ibuki, Hyuga, and Ryo all standing there talking together. The site's beginning to feel natural. It was weird at first, but now it's like things were always this way. A certain event after the battle was what brought us even closer together. Apparently, Ibuki and Hyuga had synthesized enough antibody shots to help everyone who had been attacked alongside Lizzie. Then, before the final battle, Mr. Kunomori and Uncle Yashima treated the injured with the shots. No one turned into a vector as a result. Tokio was so impressed with what they did, he even asked them to keep helping out. And now the two vectors were coming and going from Theta as they pleased, especially since Mr. Kunomori had removed the higher-ups from power. How do you not love this man? He's just like, I removed them from power. What did you do? I'm not going to answer that. I made them go outside for 5 minutes. Wouldn't that have killed them? Maybe. He's such a shady... He's so, like... He comes across as, like, a lovable idiot, but he is, like, really kind of smart and devious, if you think about it. Like, and a little bit shady. And I love it. What's up? Is there something on my face? Wait, hold on. I know I'm good looking, but don't go falling for me. That'd be weird. Too late. Not for her. No, it is weird because you're old enough to be her dad. But like, for me, sir, totally already in love. Too late. Don't worry, that'll never happen. How dare you? No, really? Well, no reason to sound so sure of yourself. That could really hurt a guy's feelings. I gave Mr. Kunomori a wry smile and turned to Tokio and the others. I'm glad that's all he said, though, because it's like, sir, you're old enough to be your dad. It's weird enough that we were dating Ryo, who's like 26 over here, and Hugo's 24, and Ibuki's 20. Ibuki's a little bit closer and better age-wise, but like, come on, we're getting a little inappropriate left and right. We don't need someone who rescued my parents before I was even born. Okay, you were a grown-ass adult before I was born. Let's not even go there, alright? Like, and like, I mean, I know it's an Otome game, so, like, for us as the player, you're like, flirt with me a little more. But when you take a step back, you're like, actually don't. You are like that middle-aged man who flirts with the teenage waitresses, and that's just disturbing. Don't be my grandfather. That's creepy. My grandfather on my father's side was like that. Would always be like, flirting with wait. And you're like, old enough to be her grandpa. Stop it. That's gross. It was always weird and uncomfortable. Like, don't be like that. I brought a little something for everyone. It's a bit early, but Lizzie and I made lunch. Please eat up. I held out the lunch boxes, and Tokyo, who was closest to me, took one. Thank you. You two are lifesavers. Seriously, Tokyo and Ibuki won't eat unless someone feeds them. Without focus on their research, they are. You keep them alive. Well, it's my job. I'm their sandwich machine, just like I was for Cyan and frickin' Verche, so. I like the aloof geniuses, don't I? I'll eat if food's in the vicinity, but I can't say I notice its absence. Tokyo and Ibuki were oddly similar, which left both Hyuga and Ayamu groaning over their antics. Well, start noticing. Either eat those lunches or I'll have to force feed you something. You mean you're the cook over in Tao? Well, hey, it's too early for a lunch break. Let's keep at it for a little longer. Sorry to interrupt. What are you up to now? Tokyo answered my question. I'm researching shield technology. We can integrate hypnosis with it quite well already. Now we're trying to get results with foresight. By shield, you mean you're trying to keep the third plant from being detected, right? How's foresight going to help with that? Wait. This is so stupid. We want shield technology so that they can't attack us anymore. So they can't, so they don't know we're here. Have you ever been in you're a... I just want to, do you ever have dreams with the dream? And I feel like that child right now. Oh my God. You're the scientist or in a government or just a normal person where all of a sudden you look on a map and you're like, this is this map, this is the island. And then you're like, wait, it's not there. I don't know where it went. Where could it have been? It's not a floating island. It doesn't move. You can put a shield up all you want. The outside world has the latitude and longitude and everything and the coordinate. They know exactly where you fucking are. This is not Howl's Moving Castle where you're like, it's like the fucking third plant floating island. It doesn't move. It's stationary. Like, shield's not gonna do jack shit. Like, you know what I mean? You don't just make an island disappear. Okay. I mean, unless you're gonna scramble their technology where they're like, wait, that's weird. All of a sudden, like, this, you're not in the Bermuda Triangle where, like, weird shit happens. Like, okay. All right, whatever. Okay, sure, fine. I'm gonna pretend it makes sense where in modern technology, you couldn't put a dome over an island and just magically make it disappear. People would be like, these are the coordinates. There's obviously, like, maybe in modern, like, right now, because you'd be like, there was an island here yesterday and it's not here, and we don't have the technology to, like, see through invisible shields because that doesn't exist in our brains, right? But in the world they're living in, shields and domes and all of that all exists. So, like, I think they're gonna know. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? I know this really isn't gonna solve a problem, but okay, whatever, okay. Anyway, shield, you're gonna try to keep the third plant from being detected. How's foresight gonna help with that? How is that even gonna work? Never mind, don't ask. Actually, instead of using foresight, what we really want to do is plant an image in the minds of our enemies. Okay, this makes more sense. If we can combine that ability with hypnosis, we'll be able to create a mental barrier. It should protect the third plant like an impenetrable wall. Now see, that makes more sense. It's not, we're just gonna make it disappear and they're not gonna know. It's like, we're gonna make it so it's an impenetrable wall. They don't know and they think it was destroyed. And then they're just like, whatevs, and then they go about their own business and forget. Cool. That I understand. That makes more sense. I guess I should have read it before I made fun of the game, but okay. Something even outsiders' technology shouldn't be able to see through, right? Well, I mean, normally I would say yes, but not if you're using magical powers. For now, at least. I can't guarantee how things will be 10 years down the line. Well, then it looks like the research needs to continue at full speed. Full speed. Now a game, a fan disc or a part 2 to this 10 years later, where then the outside world finds out, and then we have to, and that would be kind of interesting. And now instead of being a 16-year-old girl, we're pushing 30, and we're a research scientist, and we're grown-ass adults now. That would be kind of fun. They would never do that, because, like, they like making high school games, or, like, you have to be young and naive and stupid, so. Although she's been pretty good with her, like, yeah, she's naive about stuff, but, like, they explain that, and I'm fine with it, and, like, you know, but she's pretty on the ball most of the time, so, you know, I don't have a problem with her. And that's right, we have to evolve too, and we need your help to achieve that. I nodded in response. Augment's gonna come in handy, isn't it? Yeah, but we can still take it slow. You should go visit Yukonami and the others too. They're doing another so-called experiment. They're so noisy we kicked them outside. Tokyo sounded utterly exasperated. I couldn't help grinning as I pictured the others being all rowdy. Alright, I'll go see if I can find them. I like how we're just visiting everyone. Now we're gonna go visit the others. I headed to the courtyard. Since it was the weekend, it was devoid of other students. Okay, we were in the research district, and now we're in the courtyard of the school, but the school isn't in the research district, so that makes no sense, but whatever. When I heard lively voices, I followed the sound to their owners. Hey, now hold on a minute. Why am I always the one stuck in the orbit of you two and your powers, huh? Is it my imagination, or are you both using me as target practice on purpose? I keep telling you it's a coincidence. Sometimes stray shots happen, yeah? Yeah, now be good and stay still. If I stay still, you'll hit me. I realized why they'd been exiled to the outdoors. Yeah, no one's conducted any serious research with these guys goofing off nearby. I watched them quietly, waiting for them to notice me. Before long, Kamui did and called out to me. Ah, well, we've been waiting for you. Kamui gave me a bright smile and came running over. Did you bring me something good again today? Awesome! It's not just for you, you know. I don't know why Kamui started to sound more like Yukonami, but whatever. It's not just for you, you know. Hey, did you bring me my favorite too? Dessert, right? Yeah, we baked a pound cake. Yay! Hold on. She didn't bake a whole cake just for you, Yukonami. You do realize we're meant to share it, right? I felt happy as I watched them squabble. I was so glad they were getting along. It's funny, they're acting like normal friends now. So what did I interrupt? We were trying to use sap on Yukonami's powers, but it's a lot tougher than we expected. I have trouble hitting Yukonami. Yeah, I knew it. You were targeting me on purpose. I heard Kamui mutter under his breath, so I quickly tried to smooth things over. So you can all use your powers without transforming now, right? Yeah, thanks to that flower crystal, I guess. We used to always have to transform before using our powers. Same for you, right? Yeah, but thinking about it, it's a bit sad. Sad? How so? Are you really saying you miss seeing Mocha and the others that much? Yeah, I miss my girlfriends. He was on the money, but I felt myself clam up. I was definitely a little sad about no longer being able to say the girls I'd gotten to know. In that case, I'll play with you. Then you won't have any time to feel sad. Give me your hand. Yukonami grabbed my hand before I could respond and called out to Mihaya and Kamui. Let's continue the experiment. You sap, then share it, and then transfer and share it with her. Right, okay. Go on then, Mihaya. Alright, and done. Okay, now it's my turn, and transfer! Kamui held out his hand, and I burst into laughter. Really? That's the coolest line you can manage? You understood, didn't you? What's the matter? I feel a bit itchy. Is this your power, Yukonami? Yeah, it'll help you run faster and jump higher. Try leaping into that tree. We all took running jumps. We were all having a ton of fun. It's more like playing than doing an experiment. Yeah, I mean, that's why they're not experimenting. They're just messing around. Amazing! I've never jumped so high in all my life. Cool, right? Now let's try dashing. What on earth are you doing? They're going to come outside and we're going to have a picnic lunch and we're going to have a CG with everyone. Tokyo and the others walked up to us in the middle of our fun. Where's Uncle Yashima? We're all working our butts off and here you are goofing off. Or goofing around, sorry. I'll let them. The fight's over. They deserve to have some fun. That's right. Whatever comes next is a long way off. The other five initially looked exasperated by our antics, but they shrugged it off soon enough. Their voices were filled with affection. Yep, it's a group CG. I suddenly made eye contact with Ibuki. I've been wanting to ask him something since the battle, and now seemed like a good time. Look at this. Oh. Ibuki, did I give you the right answer? I don't think a right answer to that question exists, honestly. All I know is, I like the world we're living in. I see. Yeah, I do too. I mean, what I do like about this is the fact that, like, in all the other endings, we had good endings and, like, it seemed like we were trying, like, Yukonami's where we're going to try and work towards something where maybe everyone can get along and you're going to try to work, and there wasn't really anything. This is the world that you're trying to work toward, where everybody kind of gets along and, you know, whatever. So it makes sense, the grand finale ending, that it's like this. But again, I think they could have gotten to the ending part and like this part a little bit faster. I looked up at the sky. It was still an artificial one. Everything we perceived as our world was technically an illusion. There was still so much we didn't know about the outside world. No doubt there are many wonderful and terrible things to discover. Okay, I'm like, it's the opening theme, but like I'm really hoping it doesn't have the song lyrics in the background. No, okay. I'm pausing, I'm like waiting, because if it does, I gotta turn it off. Even so, because YouTube will still catch it underneath, even though it's quiet and you might not be able to hear it. If the eight of us... No, okay. If the eight of us stick together, I know we can face whatever the future has in store for us. I believe that more than I'd ever believed anything. Like, we didn't have a like, Uncle Yashima wasn't there at the end, though. That kind of does suck. But, like... Nope, we can't watch the theme. Fragments of Future 1 has been unlocked in reports. Okay. And 2. Okay, so we got reports to read. So yeah, so we'll just do, because it's only like 20 minutes, we'll get our bad ending and then we'll do the reports for the grand finale. So that was this one. Okay, so we're going to say Ryo's our enemy, so we're going to get our bad ending. But leaving Ryo to wander freely is too dangerous. Yeah, I think it's a good idea to capture Ryo too. With that, everyone sprung into action. We'll go find him right away. He might be feeding information to the outsiders secretly, even now. So you can see, like, based on how the current ending went, right? Where we trusted in him and then he was there warning us and giving, here they come and telling us when they were going to attack. Now we capture him. He doesn't have that communication with the outside. He's not going to warn us. We're all going to end up dead. So you can kind of see where it's going. Right. We better hurry. We found Ryo with surprising ease. He didn't even protest when we detained him and took him into custody. This is for the best. But doubts lingered in my heart over whether we were truly doing the right thing. Or not. A few days later, we received visual confirmation that the Outsiders' machines and soldiers had gathered in mass. The Outsiders had come for us. We were instantly overwhelmed. And then we were annihilated. That was like a 2-minute ending! Okay, well... Alright, I figured it would take a little bit... Okay, that, like... They were like, yeah, we kidnapped Ryo. We decided to... And then we died. There wasn't even, like, 2 minutes of reading. There was literally, like, 30 seconds. I'm just saying. They could have added a little bit more to that, like a couple little lines. We didn't have a plan, and then this happened, the fire... And, like, you know, whatever. They could have dragged that out for an extra minute. And they could have condensed the going over filler bullshit in the main part of the route a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Like, whatever. So, I didn't know there were other activity reports. Where are these? Because they weren't... Oh, okay. I didn't even notice there were 2 here when we were scrolling through after the Void ones. Were they just not here and then they opened up afterward? Because I thought we looped through and I would have known. But anyway. One day, not long after the battle with the Outsiders. Are you still working on that gun? Yep, sure am. I have to keep at it. It's all I gotta fight with, you know? But you've got superpowers. You fight using psychokinesis, don't you?
This isn't just any old gun. It works in conjunction with my powers. It's all too advanced for you to understand.
I figured out that much, but why do you need to use a weapon at all? It doesn't make any sense. Does it work like our own special abilities, except it's a gun? Is the gun itself imbued with special properties?
Just be straight with me. If you want to look at it, just ask.
What? That's not why I'm talking to you. Just struck me as odd, that's all.
Go ahead. It's not even loaded, so you don't gotta worry about it going off.
Alright then, I'll take a look. Huh. So this is what a gun is like. Surprisingly heavy.
Guns themselves aren't anything special, but when I imbue them with my powers, it gives my shots an extra kick. Maybe you're onto something. Maybe it ain't so different from the special abilities you guys have. Whoa, hold on a sec. Stop pulling on me. And stop being so slow.
What's all the commotion? These little chuckle fucks. I love them. This is the rowdy bunch. Although, Hyuga is also in the research bunch, but he'd be in the rowdy group too, you know that.
They're back.
And we're here! Perfect landing!
God, I'm exhausted. Yukonami insisted on dropping in from above, but it took way too much effort.
Yeah, but I knew going by rooftop instead of walking here would be fun. And fast. And we sure were fast.
Well, yeah, it was fast. But I can't say it's the way I usually come to school. You sure took your time doing the shopping. What's all that stuff you got there? Did you buy a bunch of useless junk again?
Huh? No, this stuff's the reason why we took so long.
Yukonami said he wanted to see the town, so we took a detour and then...
I knew it. You got sidetracked. Just a little. Anyway, I'm glad it happened. We ended up with Kamui's... What'd you call him?
Gramps. He was shopping too, and we happened to run into him.
Oh! Gramps adopted Yukonami, you know it.
When he saw me with Yukonami, with a friend he never met before, he seemed surprised. He almost fell flat on his face. Yukonami managed to grab him just in time. Luckily, Gramps wasn't hurt.
Yeah, I did good, didn't I? He is literally like a dog. Like a crazy one. Like, look, he's all cute and friendly, and he's gonna bite your arm off if you try to pet him.
Yeah, you saved the day. Anyway, Gramps gave us all this stuff as a reward. It's all candy.
Wow, that's so much candy. It's all for us?
Yep, eat up. I didn't go into details. I just told Gramps we were going to meet friends. When he heard that, he bought a pile of candy. I told him we'd never be able to finish it all, but...
That's so adorable! Oh, I love your grandpa.
He knew a sweat. I can rise to this candy-eating challenge. By the way, I didn't expect the old man to be so pleased. All he did was grab his sleeve, but he was so grateful, it made me feel good. Yukonami, you're such a child. Say what you want. I'm happy as a butterfly. I helped someone and he gave us a pile of candy to repay me for my kindness.
These are adorable.
Gramps would be happy to hear you say that.
You two seem to have gotten much closer recently.
You too? I feel like you two aren't talking as curtly as you used to. Maybe. Mihai is a researcher too, so our minds are on a similar wavelength.
Yeah, and right now we have the common threat of the outsiders. They have the advantage in terms of pure strength, but that's where research comes in.
Yeah, I know. I want to say there's another way, but guess my way of thinking hasn't changed. Thinking has changed a bit. When you work side by side like this, I guess viewpoints start to change across the board. Yeah, I welcome the change though, and I want to treasure this moment we're living in. Yeah, I feel the same way. When I was preparing...
There's like a line cut off. It said, I feel the same way when I was preparing, and then it's gone. Okay. It's almost, well, actually, you know what it's like? Yukonami being like, when I was preparing, and then this one, back when we were preparing to fight the outsiders. It's almost like a flashback to this. I'm just going to pretend that's what they were going. That's not. There was probably like a line that was on the next thing, but it, you know, like sometimes when you're reading, like, I don't know if I'm sure you've noticed because I pause awkwardly, but it'll be like, back when we were preparing to fight the outsiders, and it's like a whole separate, like, there's plenty of room here. You can see it's 3 lines. But every once in a while, it'll only be 1 line, and then it flips to the next card, kind of. And, like, you're like, why did they not just put that on the next line on the same scene. You know what I mean? So, like, I feel like that's what was happening there. Like, there was a next when you click it, but the game is coded like there's 10 cards here. And they put it on the 11, like, instead of, like, looping it around underneath on the text, on, like, you know what I mean? Like, wrapping the text. They just put it on a next thing that isn't coded when you click A. It's like, nope, we're done. And it's like, weird. Very weird. But anyway, that's just somebody like not checking things. And I feel like that's weird. The formatting is a little weird with certain things like that. But you can still read them. That one cut off and it's like, but it also just felt like it ended awkwardly, not just in the middle of that sentence. It's like, yeah, back when we were preparing whatever, even if he finished a sentence, you're like, that's just the end? They usually have a little bit more like, okay, it's the end of the conversation. That just felt like the middle of the conversation. But anyway, back when we were preparing to fight the outsiders, Tokyo, Ayumu, Ibuki, and Rio were holding a strategy meeting in Theta. So, I've explained how strong the enemy is.
I think we've got a decent picture on the number of soldiers and tech we'll be up against. Well, I have high hopes Hypnosis will work on them. But to be honest, I feel quite exhausted.
Let's take a short break. I'd suggest tea, but I'm rather poor at making it.
It's fine. Let's just sit down and relax. Yeah. I'd like to hear more about the outsiders while we rest.
It won't be much of a rest if we bring them up.
Tokyo's naturally curious. He wants to know about life out there, what the people are like, that sort of thing.
Precisely.
I see. In that case, I'd like to know too. No point in hiding anything now, I guess. What do you want to know?
What's society like in the plant you came from? Is it separated into colonies like here in the third plant? Is it even what you call a plant?
No, we have no need of colonies. I see. So it's not like here then. The air isn't contaminated poison. No, we live in what's called cities. It's hard to explain, but I guess they're not too different from colonies.
That does sound different from the town inside Theta. Does each city have its own government?
Kind of. We used to call them countries long ago. Now they're not countries anymore! Each country had its own language and religion. My plant has a long history. A bunch of different countries joined together to make one plant. If I explained everything, we'd be here all day. They're also like, if I explained everything, we'd be here all day. Also, we didn't backstory this too much. Then let's try another question. Do your people have other areas they monitor, like the third plant?
I was curious about that as well.
I'm a little curious about this too, because this might be the explanation of like, what the fuck? I've heard we do. I don't know the details myself, though. They're like, sure, why not? Okay. We're getting no answers out of this.
You know more about the outside than we do, Rio, but it still sounds like you don't know very much.
You hit the nail on the head. I was a small fry in a big plant.
Alright then, one last question. I'll make it an easy one for you. Do you have a blue sky above your plant?
Huh? You really like the sky, don't you, Tokyo?
And that's your big question?
Sheesh, typical. You know, I'm actually surprised that didn't come up before, so I'm glad they put it in one of these. The sky is blue. You should come someday and see for yourself.
Yeah, I'd like to. I'd like to bring her along too.
Aw, thanks, boyfriend. Making your intentions known, are you?
I'm free to say what I want, right? It's all hypothetical at this stage anyway.
I do actually like that Ibuki and Tokyo are kind of like almost in a fight for me. Like, Ibuki's been pretty obvious, and Tokyo's like, I'm not gonna say anything right now, but now he's saying it to his face, like, I'll fight you. And then Kamui comes busting through the door. What? I heard someone talking about flirting with a girl! The rest of them are like, not gonna say anything, because they're either not interested or they're just not getting in this fight. But these two fighting for my affection, I'm okay with that, because they are still my favorites.
Well, let's try to make it a reality. But we have a lot to deal with before it can happen.
Right. Let's get back to planning that battle. It would be kind of interesting, like, because I think this game's a little bit older. Like, it came out a few years. I mean, it's recent for us, but actually, to be fair, when did this come out for us. Let's see something. When was this? I mean, I've had this game for years. Yeah, it was released. Aww. As I'm recording this, today's October 28th, and this game was released October 27th of 2022. I've had this game in our backlog for 2 motherfucking years. 2 fucking years! That's insane to think. Because, like, I got it, and we had other games we were playing, but I've wanted to play it 2 years. We have never, ever in our fucking lives, guys, ever, we are literally living in the last couple of years in, like, fucking Otome Central, okay? Granted, it was also, too, because we weren't doing both games every day. We were doing every other day, so it took a little bit longer to get through games than it is now. And we did that for a while. But do you remember the days of, like, playing a game and then we're like, okay, well, we're going to have a gap because a new game's not coming out for a couple weeks. And then we played every fucking game that came out because... And we had a backlog of maybe, like, mixed reviews or, like, whatever games, but not, like, big budget, like, the top tier AAA games, right? As far as Otomes go. Because they were releasing, like, 3 a year, and you're like, oh my god, we got 4! And now we're like, there are, like, 18 of them listed for... I can't even keep the fuck up, okay? I can't even keep up anymore. There's so many announcements and things, I'm like, wait, what? When did this happen? They're just coming left and right. They're just literally, like, drowning us in these. I'm gonna die under the weight of fucking Switch cases, okay? And I buy some of them digital. That's just... I'm not complaining. I love this. But the fact that this game has been sitting in our backlog for 2 motherfucking years because we have so much other stuff going on that we've never even gotten to it until now. And the only reason we got to it now is because it was like we had gaps with our other games finishing and being like, okay, before 9-Rip and Verche Fan Disc come out, we have space, so let's play some of our backlog shit. It's the only reason. You know? Also, you guys never voted for this one when I put up votes, and it's like, you know what, screw you guys, I'm playing it whether you like it or not. I don't care if you didn't want it. I've been wanting to play this one for 2 years. I'm not disappointed. I'm just curious as to when it was actually released, but it's been... I thought it was a few years old by the time it was localized, to be fair. So... Oh, wow. Well, I'm reading some of the comments on Otome Kitten's guide, like, why make 8 routes when they're going to be very short? You know, I don't think pulling off this amount of routes is going to be a good idea when they don't want to spend time developing it, unless they're going to hire the Hakawoki writers. We're going to be here for 6 years! That was a lot. Like, and the people, like, waiting till it goes on sale, or this, like, already skipped. I don't want gender-bending magical girls. Well, that's kind of a cunty take on it. Like, I mean, that's fair, but it sounds cunty when you say it like that. Like, that's not my thing. But, like, when you say it like that, I don't know. Anyway. And the skipping it and like, canceling orders and stuff like that. And, like, other people, I'm glad it's short so I can finish it before other games come out. A lot of people are skipping it. Wow. I was gonna buy this, bummer. Huh. Honestly, I mean, I don't know what her overall impressions were, because we haven't finished it. I wouldn't readily recommend this to veteran players of the genre who are very particular with story flow and plot consistency. Fair enough. However, if you're just into Oogle on cute boys and seeing them transform to pretty magical girlies, then yes, by all means. And again, fair enough. If you were like, I want a really good plot, this was definitely not the game for you, okay? I knew what we were getting into. It's cute boys that turn into magical girls. It's gonna be fucking stupid. Like, I didn't even read a review, but it's like, I don't care. I don't care if the plot's stupid. You sold me on it's boys that turn into magical girls. And I was like, that sounds ridiculous. And I'm here for it. We could have just gone here. So, you know what I mean? Like, I'm in. Oh, we've got all of them. So there's no CGs in the other routes. You know what I mean? So these were our original ones. But yeah, monotonous plot and lack of good romance, Paradigm Paradox failed to hold my interest. I mean, you can still enjoy the game, especially if you wanted a short read to pass the time. Like, and then like, yeah, so basically overall, I guess, impressions is like, not. Overall thoughts. I felt kind of betrayed when this wasn't expanded, like the gender bending twist. It would have been interesting if they played around with the concept, but nope. Also, I wouldn't say this was the first Otome game to use this trope. There already exist a few titles that had love interests transforming into female characters. Okay, but like... And then suffering from pacing issues and stuff like that. So yeah, I mean... Oh, is this the game that doesn't let you... Okay, that one... There's... Oh, and that one's got 10. And then the last one's got 2. Okay, everyone else is 1. Wait, yeah. Well, we'll just leave the little cycle thing on the bottom.
Hi, buddy.
Oh, god damn it, I hit the wrong button. No, I didn't want to go back! No! Well, that helps, actually, to know. No! God damn it, I keep hitting the wrong button because I'm stupid. Because I'm trying very hard. I'm like, don't hit the A button. So, like, okay. Anyway, it's fine. That's my pet peeve. People need to talk about that more, is when you hit the A button, it should not fucking go back, like the back button. That pisses me off so much. But anyway. But, you know. Listen. Was it the best thing ever? No. Do I think it's valid that, like, hey, if you're looking for a lot of plot and a lot of, like, in-depth kind of backstory and, like, fleshed out routes, no, you're not getting that here. Fair enough. But, like, I was absolutely coming into it for, like, easy fluff, quick hit, whatever, boys turning into magical girls. That piqued my curiosity enough. So, yeah, I don't think I had super high expectations of it, you know? And, I mean, I still had fun with it. Yeah, there's a lot of plot holes and consistencies, and, like, you get to the grand finale and you're like, we've read all this. Can we wrap it up here? Especially when you've spent so little time developing the characters really in their own routes that they kind of like, they're over and done with. And then you spend all that time rehashing everything we learned. That's where I'm like, I mean, okay, you could have put a little bit more effort into the characters and added a little bit more to them and their routes, and then not wasted so much time on this. Well, the ending part of this was good, but the 2 hours to get to it was like, do we need that much? No. You know what I mean? But like, you know, overall, I thought it was fine. I've had fun with it. We still have to do in the next part the common route endings for Justice and Villainous Justice. We'll see how long they take. If we can do Justice as one and then Villainous Justice as a separate one, fine. If they all go together as one, we'll put them all together as one. So, you know. It's interesting that they put Rio in between these guys, but... And there you go. There's everyone together. That's pretty cool. And we're not done. But you know what they do? We don't get a grand finale like CG. You know? This is the best thing you got with everybody. Which is okay. You know? Well, okay, this one. You got this one with everybody there, which is kind of cute, to be fair. You know? That one's actually cute, yeah. Oh, and that's back to the first one. Wait. What is the difference? It's just... Oh, we look off into the distance and he looks at us. Okay. That's the only thing, like, in this one, like, Ibuki's, like, way in the background, but it's still cute. So, anyway, yeah, I don't know. Not bad. So far. We're almost done. Again, I do think that they took way too long to get to the point in this one. It was, like, just could have been faster, but it is what it is. Whatever. But yeah, so we'll do the common route endings. We'll see. There's a lot of save points and bad endings for those. They like have 4 endings for the Justice route and only 3 total for the Villainous Justice route. So who knows if it's going to be a lot of more filler bullshit like this one where you're like, we just spent 2 hours hashing out the same thing, or it's going to be, you know, where they get through stuff and then... I mean, like, some of this is like, okay, it looks like a lot of the stuff where you're not really getting in each individual character. So maybe it'll not take too long. Because I don't want to spend, after this one, like, 3 hours hashing through the same shit we just spent 3 hours hashing through, that we spent the entire game hashing through. We don't need that. We don't need it. You don't need it. Holy shit. You know what I mean? But we'll see what happens. So hopefully those endings go kind of fast and maybe we can get them done in one part. Worst case, one part each. So anyway, I will see you guys next time. Remember to give the video a big thumbs up and subscribe to see more.